All right, welcome. Today, we are going to dive into one of the most misunderstood and maybe misused words in all of finance, diversification. We're going to break down what it really is, because honestly, getting this one thing right can totally change your financial game. Let's jump in.
Yeah, this quote right here, it just gets straight to the point, doesn't it? It's a little uncomfortable, but it's the truth. You might feel safe because you own a bunch of different funds, but what if they're all just different versions of the same thing? When things go south, you quickly find out you're not diversified. You're just, well, exposed.
And that really leads us to the big myth we're here to bust today. It's this idea that just owning more stuff, more funds, more stocks, automatically makes you safer. It's a nice thought, but as we're about to see, it's just not the whole story.
I mean, this says it all, right? More doesn't always mean better. Thinking more assets equals more diversification is kind of like thinking that a diet of Coke, Pepsi, and Dr. Pepper is balanced because you have 3 different sodas. You don't have variety, you just have a whole lot of sugar. Quantity is not the goal here.
So, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If piling on more of the same isn't the answer, then what is? Well, to really get this, we're going to take a little trip out of the world of finance and into the kitchen.
Let's talk about making soup. Imagine you want to make a really flavorful soup, so you add some regular table salt. Then you think, let's diversify. So you add some sea salt, then some Himalayan pink salt, maybe some fancy smoked salt. You've added 4 different things, right? But what did you actually make? You just made a really, really salty soup.
And this right here shows you exactly what I'm talking about. On the left, you've got the salty soup portfolio. A tech fund, a growth fund, an S&P 500 fund, they're all just different brands of salt. At the end of the day, they're all stocks. But now, look to the right, at the gourmet portfolio. Stocks are your salt, for sure, but you've also got pepper, garlic, and other spices, things like real estate, life insurance, and cash. These are fundamentally different ingredients.
So what's the secret to making this gourmet meal instead of salty soup? It all comes down to a concept called asset correlation. That's the financial term for what we just talked about. It's not about what your investments are called, it's about how they behave.
Let me just break this down for you. It's actually pretty simple. High correlation just means 2 things tend to move together. When one goes up, the other usually goes up. When one goes down, the other probably does too. All those stock funds in our salty soup, you guessed it, high correlation. The real goal is to find things with low correlation, so that when one zigs, the other one zags.
So let's build this idea out piece by piece. Real, true diversification.
It means owning things that have different behaviors. It's as simple as that. You want assets in your portfolio that kind of march to the beat of their own drum. And what does that look like in the real world? It means your assets should respond
Differently to whatever the market is doing. Look, when the stock market is flying high, that's fantastic for your stocks. But when it's taking a nosedive, you want other things in your corner that are maybe holding their ground or even doing well. Okay, so how do we actually use this to build a smarter portfolio? The main idea is this: diversify by function, not just by name. You need to stop asking, is this a different stock fund? And start asking, does this asset do a different job for me?
So here are some of those different ingredients, those different flavors for your portfolio. These are different asset classes that often behave differently. Stocks are there for growth. Real estate can give you cash flow and fight inflation. Cash gives you stability. Bonds can provide steady income. You see, each one has a totally different job to do.
If you only remember one single thing from this whole explainer, please let it be this: how your assets move in relation to each other is so much more important than how many different ones you own. It's about how they behave, not how many you can count. So let's wrap this all up with something you can actually do, like right now. It's time to take a look at your own portfolio and check your financial recipe. Think of this as your quick win for the day.
It's a really simple 3-step check. First, just make a list of everything you've got. Put it all on paper. Second, be really honest with yourself. What's the main flavor here? Is it pretty much all salt? Are you overwhelmingly in stocks? And number 3, just get curious. Spend maybe 15 minutes just researching one of the other ingredients we talked about, like real estate or bonds, just to see what kind of flavor it could add.
And that really brings us to the final question you need to ask yourself. Take a good, hard look at what you're building. Are you just dumping more and more salt into the pot and hoping for a better result? Or are you carefully picking different ingredients to create a truly balanced portfolio, a gourmet meal that can handle whatever the economy throws at it? The choice is all yours.